One of the most famous Chinese electric car brands in the world, most people have actually heard of this company, has said that there is about to be a sea of blood, as in a sea of blood in the automotive industry in China. A rival EV car company has said the Chinese government needs to act now to basically force some of these automakers to join together. Otherwise, there's going to be bankruptcies all over the place. Is this true? Absolutely. 91 electric car manufacturers just cannot survive. That is a ridiculous number, 91. One of them has already basically gone bankrupt. I reported on that a few weeks ago. They've fired almost all their staff and they've got a couple left, but yeah, I mean, they've fired more than a few thousand staff and they've left a skeleton staff remaining. They were the most luxurious EV brand in China. No one thought they had any issues, but all of a sudden they just ceased production. This is what's about to happen. Hello, my friends. Welcome to the channel. I'm Sam Evans. You're watching the Electric Viking. Li Auto. They are doing actually pretty well in China. They are doing a lot better than most EV companies. In fact, they're probably in the top 3% in terms of their production over the past 12 months in China. Their CEO said this has become the point of a joke here. The government needs to step in. It needs to force some of these automakers to actually join up because they can't sustain these kinds of losses. These bankruptcies could trigger some sort of financial tsunami in China. Now, of course, we've already had this Evergrande go bankrupt, which is more than $500 billion just down the drain. There's a lot of property developers going bankrupt. There's a lot of car dealerships. Apparently more than 2,000 car dealerships have closed their doors over the past 12 months. And then we've got car manufacturers like Jeep going bankrupt. We've got car manufacturers like Mitsubishi basically declaring bankruptcy in China. And China is right now, it's a very scary place to be doing business in. I wouldn't want to be competing there. I wouldn't want to be a legacy automaker there. I probably wouldn't want to be a Chinese automaker there either, unless you're BYD, CATL. Anyway, the CEO of Chinese electric vehicle manufacturer Xpeng told employees the company will unveil 30 new and updated EV models over the next 3 years, 10 every year. For a small car company, that is insane. I don't know how that's possible, but Xpeng, who were founded in 2014, have never made a profit in a single quarter. How are companies like this still surviving? I don't know, but one way could be the fact that the Volkswagen Group, automotive group, purchased 5% of the company for, I believe it was about $1 billion. That gave them a huge cash injection. How long will that cash injection last for? I don't know, because the CEO sent an email to employees saying this: there will be a sea of blood over the next 12 months as the intense competition in China is just, it's too hot. There's too many car manufacturers, there's too many models, and they aren't really, taking sales. It's true that the EV sector is just blowing up in China. It's doing incredibly well, but there's still way too many car manufacturers. And legacy automakers are just desperately discounting their cars. I mean, Audi, BMW, Mercedes have offered many EVs for 50% discounts, ridiculous discounts. You don't hear about this kind of stuff because it's in China, but it's happening. It's been reported by several news media agencies, these incredible discounts, and even to their staff, they're offering these huge discounts because they think that maybe it'll be a bit quieter if they do it for their staff. That's what Lucid did in the United States. But if this is Xpeng saying it's going to be a sea of blood, if Li Auto was saying the same thing, well, is there a likelihood that it will be a sea of blood? I think the answer is very obvious. The other concern here is this. BYD, of course, are now the biggest automaker in China. The biggest. And they can crush their competition. So what exactly are they doing right now? Are they trying to crush their competition? Absolutely they are. They've discounted their plug-in hybrids and their EVs, every single model over the past 3 months. Every single model has been discounted. At least one, and some 3 different times. So discount after discount after discount. BYD are basically saying, there's too many automakers. If we put our foot to the gas, if we create some serious pressure here, we can just get rid of some of our rivals. Why not just chuck some of the bad ones in the bin? And I agree. This sort of thing has to happen in the free market. The worst manufacturers are probably holding back the industry. Now, keep in mind at the same time, a lot of this will mean that these Chinese automakers will send as many cars outside of China as they possibly can, where the competition is much less fierce. Chinese automakers, at an increasing rate, are sending EVs to countries, not China, Southeast Asia, South America, Central and South America, even plans to build factories in Mexico to sell EVs in the US. They're building factories in Europe. They're sending more EVs to Europe. They're sending more EVs to the Middle East. They're sending to places like Australia and Thailand. This is happening at a much, much faster pace. But CATL, the biggest battery manufacturer in the world, has said that this year they will reduce the cost of batteries by 50%. What does that mean? It should be cheaper to produce an internal combustion. Hang on a minute. No, not the case anymore. Cheaper to produce an EV by the end of this year. If the battery used to be 30 to 45% of the cost to build a vehicle, now it should be only approximately 20%. Meaning EVs are cheaper to build than internal combustion engine vehicles. Now, what does that mean for the biggest manufacturers of ICE vehicles in the world? The Volkswagen Group, Toyota, General Motors, Ford. It means that they will also be under intense pressure. Thanks for watching.